technically a double top here, but it's really just that's a swing failure in my opinion. That's just weak. So low volume in through here um, versus this. Not horrible, but the volume was just more sustained on this move. Predominance of upside wicks. You did get some in here. So this is kind of interesting when you have the changeover between predominance of wicks. When you start to see the downside wicks predominate, you often get an impulsive move, or at least a shift in momentum. So here's a good example. A whole ton of upside wicks, whole ton of big upside wicks, right? And then move back down into a whole bunch of downside wicks before they move back up. Well, where's it going right now? It needs to confirm support down here, in my opinion. Like this RSI is overheated on the 2-hour. MACD will kind of continue to pull up a little bit, but you can see pretty strong reaction to this area. So it could drift up a little bit. I think probably wants to come back down and just kind of double check that. Another thing I do see on this one is trend line here. I don't think it'll get much beyond this high though. It's pretty good volume. Seeing some wedginess here in the MACD, and it could go good volume. No, the volume's all up at the top. That's what I thought. The volume is all up at the top here. I just don't feel it's decided. It certainly could. I mean, it's hanging right there. Consolidation is either accumulation or distribution, right? So it's doing one of those things, but it's clearly getting ready to make some kind of a move. If it cooled off, chopped sideways and cooled off a little bit here and let the MACD come back down, then I would probably be a little bit more bullish. Right now, I would probably lean towards a short-term bearish resolution. So, but not a reversal, just like a pullback. I mean, maybe it comes down as far as the local point of control here. Really nice bounce off the 0.5 fullback. Double bottom there too. Usually with these, you see a check back down to the interim high. So like I guess it was actually a really deep W pattern. The middle high is usually a little. This is pretty low. Boopa, so Boopa did break bearish structure a little bit here, but failed to confirm that. It looks like it's just going to keep going down. A lot of hope here, but I need some confirmation. I do like that. Good area for support, right? Yeah, CB checking lower. I think that at some point we'll want to come back and retest this trend line. Oh yeah, boy, I thought it would bounce up higher than this, and we've already got a lower low. Boy, that was nothing. That's not good. That is not healthy at all. So 2 million, it was a previous double bottom, so that's definitely a spot I would be looking for some support to develop at or above 2 million. This is pushing down again. The momentum has not slowed though. This momentum is picking back up as this dives and it's back into oversold territory, but still. Giggles. I kind of like this one. I like the logo on it. It's not doing real well. It's at a spot where you could see some support develop though. So I guess this is not really too crazy pullback. Kind of like to see it hold this area though. You can certainly see the potential for a breakdown. If it doesn't, it'll probably just drop right through here, come down, check like 400,000. This looks like it'll turn around. Not the Runa looks like it wants to turn up. Ugh, really wicky though. I think that's probably just the, it's not trading a whole lot. Yeah, that's what it is. Trading is a little bit thin. I like hype for a pullback here. Arsh was looking at it for the extension play. This was an area that price interacted with before. You can see the consolidation right here. Right, it's a consolidation area, like here. Right? Expect action to gravitate to this band. It is putting in some volume in there. That's not so bad. So it is looking really double toppy to me. Yeah, it is a little double toppy formation. This is kind of copy. Well, you actually do have a double top here. Right? So that's a double top on the lower time frame, and you're back retesting that same zone. Fair chance it drops out here. You've got a range here, no doubt. Right, so there's a range being up here to, but yeah, so you got a range like 2140, maybe the top of the range, maybe a little bit lower, but to 2130 or so down to, yeah, 1983. Nice little dip here. So it'd be reversion below the 200 here. Right? Reversion below the 200, close above, nice move off of it. So you had that same thing here. That's what happens in an uptrend. But you see that active support. It kind of flattened out here, but it didn't turn back down. So the 50 crossed over, so you definitely had to question the short-term momentum, but the longer-term momentum remained intact. Did get a little bit of squeezing here. Like I said, nice bounce off of it. Lesser bounce off of it here. Kind of think it might be running out of steam. That fits with our the toppy formation kind of volume you had here. You had better volume here than you do here. Yeah, you'd like to see that you really want the volume to be above the moving average. It's somewhat skewed by this pump here. It's a nice push here, though. A nice healthy one. And this is also really nice when you get these three green candles on increasing volume. That's 3 white soldiers. That's usually a bullish indication. And then on the hourly, of course, it came back and found support right at that 50 very nicely. Yeah, it's got double tops in several different time frames. You know, if you go back here, there's another top. He's screaming resistance up here. Okay, Troll's still dancing with our trend line here. Looks like it's coming to the top of the SRSI. That's the 2 hour. 1 hour is looking dumpy too. Look for it to check back down. Test the support here around 21.8. Urmom locally toppy. The MACD is toppy. The SRSI looks like it's going to double bottom here. Maybe have another bounce. Like the price moved up an awful lot here without taking this all the way up. It may dip lower. I think that's what we might see here is a dip lower and then a bounce. You would expect it to wobble right here. I don't know if it'll break through this or if it just sort of comes down and maybe checks the other side of it. I kind of think it probably wants to check down 17.2. Hotel just kind of hanging out up here in that consolidation band. That's healthy. It's really nice and flaggy. It stays above 1 million. This thing is golden.